Welcome to your Daily 5 for Wednesday, August 21st, 2024. I think I've mentioned more than a few times that I'm a pretty big fan and a basically daily user of the creativity app Procreate on the iPad, as many others are. It is, I think, probably one of the most successful creativity apps on the iPad platform outside of the Adobe suite and things like Affinity Designer. It's got to be up there because I know a lot of people who use it and really love it. Number one, because it's a really great tool, and number two, because they're not using a subscription model as of the recording of this 5. It's a $13, I think, app, which does a ton of things. I've used it to do a ton of my professional work. I've had to use Photoshop here and there for some things, but almost everything that I illustrate now starts in Procreate in some way. And so, yeah, I've been a fan of it for quite a while now. And the company recently came out with a statement pledging that, well, I shouldn't say pledging, that's the wrong way to say it. They've basically said that as of the current time, they will not be incorporating any generative AI into their suite of products because they feel that generative AI in general is on the wrong path. And of course, many people within the creative community have responded very favorably to this. I think many people were somewhat, well, I don't know, scared is the wrong word, but I think there was a lot of kind of waiting to see, because this is pretty much everything now is, okay, are they going to jump on the AI bandwagon? Are they going to try to incorporate something, whether it makes sense or not? And in fairness, it would make some degree of sense in an app like Procreate because it is a creatively focused app, and for many people generative AI is just another tool of creation. And so it would not have been out of nowhere if they had said, yes, we are planning to incorporate this in Rev whatever, or the next version of Procreate that they make. So for them to come out now with this is interesting because, number one, let's be very clear, they did not say that they will never incorporate it. They've said that they're not going to incorporate it now because they feel like the industry is moving in the wrong direction. So in 6 months, that message could change. As with everything, when a company, no matter the size, makes a statement that is generally only applicable either within the time frame they lay out, which in this case, Procreate didn't say anything specific, or until situations change. The other thing is, and I talked about, this is somewhat related to the 5 on Monday with Apple, when companies are smaller, as Procreate is, when they have a more direct connection to the people that are directly supporting them, they tend to have a different set of ethics than if they were a multi-million, billion, or trillion-dollar company. So I don't doubt the sincerity, or at least partial sincerity, in what's being said here, that the people involved in this company probably do see generative AI as being more of a threat to creativity than a benefit. And they understand that the people that are using their app, at least they must think that most of them agree with that particular stance. And so this can only benefit them. And I think from a marketing perspective, it's a brilliant thing to state because so many companies are going the opposite way. So it establishes a sense of independence. It does feel like it is a reflection of their user base, that they are actually listening and care. And as I said, they could always change this stance if suddenly, I don't know, they read this landscape and see something is different. So I think from almost every perspective, this was a brilliant thing for them to do. Whether it's going to actually bear out over the long term, I don't know. I think with Procreate, there is still, in the way that I think is dangerous, it's the same thing where people are seeing the company as their friend. I wouldn't go that far. I do think that at a smaller scale, companies are more friendly towards their customers. But at the same time, they're not going to say anything that's going to lock them into a box indefinitely. So I think this is a very, very savvy marketing move to do right now. I think there's nothing for them to lose by not adopting this stuff because I haven't even considered what the cost would be to them if they tried to incorporate one of these tools. We do see all these costs are going up for these AI tools, so they may be trying to keep themselves from having to raise prices, which is also something that would be bucking the trend around everything lately. So from almost every perspective in terms of the perception by the users, I think this was actually a really, really brilliant move. That may also have the side effect of being in line with their actual ethics, but no matter what, I think they've put themselves into a very good PR position here. Whether that holds out over the long term, well, as with everything, let's see where things are a year from now. Let's see what they're saying a year from now. They may be forced to get onto this thing, or they may not. So, like I said, as of right now, brilliant move. Whether it will be anything permanent, well, time will tell. Later.